Oh, yes, yes, yes. What are you saying now, peeps? Yeah, it's a Triple B right here. Base boxing basement. Alright? Yeah. Demonetized base boxing bourbon because of the haters. But yo, thanks to everyone who's giving me cash apps, yo. Now, including the Dub Drew, my boy Mohammed. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate the love. No homo. Anyway, some of me fans, and everybody knows this is a channel for the fans. Yeah, waxing me. What do you think about Big John Fury? Big John Fury. You know, at the press conference for the what is it? Tommy Fury vs KSI and Dildo Danis vs Logan Paul. And you know what? Like, I'm like a Ricky Hatton. I do things for the fans, you know. And if you need reminding, yeah. When we was all on the lockdown and COVID was all over the place, Ricky Hatton was lying in his bed and going, how can I make the fans feel better? How can I make the fans feel better? I know. I'll charge them £90 to watch me do a sparring session against Marco Antonio Barrera. Yeah, and he did. He had to reduce tickets £25 because no one's buying. It's £1,000 for ringside. So I'm a bit like Ricky Hatton. I do things for the fans. And people were asking me, what do you think about John Fury? He's a mug. He's a clown. He's a bully. Right? Now, he's always grabbing his nuts and going, the heavyweight champion come out of these. Yeah, fair enough. You gave your DNA. But the reality is, okay, the true DNA, the fighting DNA, comes from the other side of the family. The mother, who we don't hear a lot about, right? But she was allegedly related, right, to Bartley Gorman. And that's where the real fighting spirit comes from. You know, John Fury was whack. Yeah, he was a bum. He lost to Henry Akin one day. He got stopped. That's not a problem. Henry was actually a good fighter. I think he was the Olympics only representative for the UK. And yeah, he didn't do well. You know, he was a bit safety first against Lennox Lewis, but he could still fight. So there's nothing wrong with that. But apart from that, you know, Fury was a bum. I don't think he stopped anyone. And he keeps on going, Big John Fury, 100 bare knuckle fights, 100 KOs. Firstly, there's no one with that record in the entire world, in the universe, man. Right? And he's lying. He had 2 registered bare knuckle fights. Well, one of them was registered, and that ended on a draw, a bare knuckle fight. And the other one was when he had an argument with a guy over a car, and he was getting a beat down, so he pulled his eye out. Yeah, and then he went to court and he did some time for that, and he starts crying, poor me, this guy has got another eye, but I have to go on side, I can't watch my son Tyson Fury become world heavyweight champion. You pulled someone's eye out, man. That's a horrible thing, man. It's a violent disability to have your eye pulled out. You understand me? You can't see out of half your face. Your perception, your depth perception has gone, and he thinks it's nothing. Oh, he's crying about, I won't be able to see my son become heavyweight champion because I pulled a man's eye out. This guy got no, no integrity. Yeah, is he unable to look at the big picture? This is all about him. Well, it is about him. So, you know, and that's the other thing, right? Apparently he's a model prisoner. I don't have a problem with that. When you're in prison, why not be a model prisoner? Get out there as soon as you can. You know, get out from behind door, alright, and crack on with your life. But all these lies about being 100 bare knuckle boxing fights and 100 KOs. I mean, the hardest man of his age in the world, you know, saying I'll fight Tyson. I've seen Tyson, what's his name? John Fury hit the pads and move around at his age, and he's awful. He's dreadful. Mickey Theo, who he swallowed it, didn't he? He didn't fight me, no Mickey Theo. He refused to fight Mickey Theo, who wanted to do it for the NHS, and he refused to do it. right? But because Theo would have beaten him, he might not have had an amateur or pro fight, but you know, he's done a lot of sparring with a lot of tough guys. And if you you know, if you're fit, especially at that age, and if you're big, that's the main, right? That's the biggest balance of power, right? Being fit. And Fury didn't want it, so there he is playing the big man, saying he'll fight and he'll fight Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, yeah, could not train, could lie on his bed smoking 50 bongs a day and still knock out a big John Fiore. It's just nonsense. It's all about him, and he loves it now because he's got his, you know, he can claim some credit. And sure enough, yeah, Tyson Fury has to be given credit. You know, he's losing a lot of credit because he fights Francis Ngannou, whatever his name is, a guy who has never had a boxing fight in his life, amateur or pro. He looks awful. No, he doesn't. No, he does look awful on the pads. And Tyson has allegedly trained him, right? And then meanwhile, then you have this this event, this press conference, and it's got a, you know, like Dildo Danis. Okay, I'm making fun of him a bit, calling him Dildo. His real name is Dillon, but he's actually done a super job of trolling Logan Paul. Every day there's pictures of Logan Paul's beloved, his fiancée with all these men. You know, she a hoe, man. She a hoe, and her reputation's ruined. And Logan's crying. Tried to get him banned. Tried to get, you know, legal action put on Dildo. But you know, I didn't really have much respect for Dildo because you know, he's been talking a lot, right? And he's a jiu-jitsu guy, and a good jiu-jitsu guy. He's been choked out on the street. That's okay against a big guy. Also, Habib went for him. Habib Nurmagomedov went for him. And that's his claim to fame, being Conor McGregor's McTapper's sparring partner. And that's cool, man. I ain't got a problem with that. He's got a fight, he's got some money, but he's done a super job trolling. He's done a super job trolling Logan Paul, man. Right? But John Fury had to make the press conference all about him. Even though he's got a son, Tommy Fiore, and Tommy comes across as a decent guy. He's embarrassed by the antics of his dad, who, by the way, had almost nothing to do with him growing up, by the way. He's not from the same mother as Tyson Fury. He's his mother from Madagascar, right? And John Fiore kind of, you know, he didn't have much to do, if anything, to do with Tommy Fiore's upbringing, and now he's claiming him. Why? Because he's a name as well, and he beat Jake Paul. But Tommy's embarrassed. He has to go through the whole "I'll pull my shirt off" and you know, offer anyone out. But you can see in his eyes he's embarrassed about it. In his blue eyes, he's embarrassed about it. You know. But Big John wants center stage, all about himself, all about himself. He's an embarrassment. He's a fat pig. He can't fight. He hasn't had 100 bare knuckle boxing fights, let alone with 100 KOs. I mean, imagine that fucking claim. You know, at least try and make it realistic. You know what I'm saying? But so he flipped over the table, made it all about him. Made it all about him. Right? Went mad, pretended he was going to fight anyone. Right? And ruined the press conference. And you know, Danis as well was like, blood clot, had so much more to say, man. You know, why do you have to make it about himself? And he's right. But that's what Big John Fiore said. He didn't even have the guts to fight Mickey Theo, who would have stopped him, probably. In my opinion, he would have stopped him. So yeah, anyway, that's it for the fans. That's it for the fans. I'm going to do another video about Usyk and Daniel, the enormous, huge, ginormous buck Dubon. We've just seen them do their public workouts. But yeah, John Fury, man, he's an embarrassment. That's all I've got to say about that homeboy. Even Tyson's probably embarrassed, yo.